So did you hear about the new alien registration requirement and you have no idea what it means or what you need to do? Stick around with me for 2 minutes and I'm going to explain to you. Hello everyone, I'm attorney Lee Marvin and I've been practicing law for over 22 years with a focus in immigration law for the last 13 years. My main office is in Grand Rapids, Michigan, but I help people, clients, individuals, families from any state in the country and any country on the planet. So you need to know the answer to this because this is going to be a big deal if it applies to you, okay? So on January 20th of 2025, President Trump issued one of his many executive orders that directed the Department of Homeland Security to require aliens to register their presence inside the United States with the federal government, okay? This had been a policy many years ago, 50 years ago, I don't know exactly, but this was done in the past, and the government is doing it again, okay? Because again, this is to combat the problem that has been happening with the border crisis. So this is a response to the border crisis and the lack of enforcement over the last number of years, okay? So this registration is absolutely related to that problem, okay? So who does this apply to? This applies to everyone 14 years or older who enter the United States without a visa and who have remained inside the United States for more than 30 days. All of those people must register with the federal government, okay? Simply put, if you're over the age of 14 and you entered without authorization, you have to register. Pretty simple to figure out, okay? So what happens? Now that you know that requirement, what happens next? Well, the person must appear for an appointment for their fingerprints, okay? So the registration happens, and then you get a biometrics notification appointment to go and to have your fingerprints taken. Again, that's anyone over the age of 14. So I believe they're talking about having kids under the age of 14 be registered, but I'm not sure what those details are yet, okay? So anyone over 14, this applies to you, okay? So the question is, what happens if you don't register? The government says failure to comply with this new rule will subject you to criminal and civil penalties, including fines and other charges. So basically misdemeanor charges. Now this is one of the first times that violation of an immigration rule or law or policy carries criminal penalties, okay? There's things you can do that are crimes under immigration law, but criminal penalties are different. For violating basic rules, it's not very common for them to do that. This is an example of basically immigration and the federal government making things more strict on people who are not following the rules. So criminal consequences to not doing these things, okay? So that's what happens if you don't register. How do you register? Okay? The government is still working on those details, okay? So they're still trying to figure out what it means to register, but there's going to be an application process, and they're probably going to open it up online, do an online registration. Don't know the details yet, but I will let you know when I do. Basically, the requirement started on February 25th, but nobody quite knows how to comply with this new rule. Instructions are coming down the line. But guess what? There's a lot of people already registered, okay? So, and that's why they say that the requirement started on February 25th because there's a lot of people already registered, you just don't know it. So, the following people have already been registered for this, and you don't have to worry about this new rule. 1, lawful residents, so legal permanent residents, green card holders. You're already part of this system, you just didn't know it, okay? Aliens paroled into the United States, even if their parole expired. So that might apply to people that try to do the CBP nightmare stuff. If the government said that you were paroled and said you could come into the United States, then you were recorded and registered and you don't have to worry about this requirement, okay? That's even true if your parole was only good for 2 weeks, 10 days, whatever it was, you still are registered, okay? Aliens admitted to the United States as non-immigrants who were issued an I-94 even if your period of admission has expired. So if you enter legally, that's the point of this, right? If you enter legally and you have an I-94 either in your possession or recorded with the government, you're good. You don't need to worry about this new rule. Aliens present in the United States who are issued immigrant or non-immigrant visas prior to arrival. Again, the whole point of this is to make sure that people enter with permission. That's what a visa is, permission to enter the United States. So if you have a visa and you're here after entering with your visa, you're good. If you are an alien in removal proceedings, meaning it doesn't matter how you entered, you've gone through deportation proceedings and you're still working on it, then you don't have to worry about this because you've already done that registration. You didn't know what it was at the time, but you've already registered. Aliens issued employment authorization documents, work permits. If you have a work permit, that means you've gone through the government process of recording who you are, where you are. That's the point of this too, okay? So if you have a work permit, you're good to go. Aliens who have applied for lawful permanent residence. So if you're trying to become a green card holder, you've already registered. Aliens who have been issued border crossing cards, okay? So if you see a theme here, it's if the government has had a right to see who you are and to say whether you're okay to be in the United States, that's all they're trying to do here, okay? If you've done those things, you don't have to worry about this new requirement. You don't have to worry about criminal penalties. You're already good, okay? If you like the information in this video, please subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell to be notified of future videos. I'm going to have a lot more videos coming. With the Trump administration, there's always tons of videos because there's tons of changes. I want to make sure that you guys know how to stay safe. If you have questions beyond this video or any of my other YouTube videos, I have a lot of them. Click the link below to book a time to talk directly to me.